self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds, she scolded, or ate one, or did his laundry, did he miss his duty, he's bird bad. The lecture went on and on as usual. You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzytail, said his mother, on just what it means to be a cat. Not a bird, not a mouse, or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet, she added, closing the bedroom door. Oh. But once he was alone, Skippy John Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones and I bounce on my bed. And once or 6 times I land on my head. On his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippy John Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. Holy guacamole, exclaimed Skippy John Jones. What is that?
He says it, yeah.
So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, my ears are too big for my body, my head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat, I am a Chihuahua. Back on land, Skippy John Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed onto his mouse, Skippy John Jones began to sing in a wee, wee soft voice. My name is Skippito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeed. Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jilliboo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. Can Skippy John come out of his room now? Asked Jujubee. No, answered Mama Junebug Jones. Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking. In fact, Skippy John wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down the lonesome desert road far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterioso bandit chihuahua appeared out of the dust. Ay, caramba, who goes there? Asked Skippy John Jones. We go by the name of los chimichangos, growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. Who are you? I am El Skippito, the great sword fighter, said Skippy John Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. Why the mask, Tito, dude? Asked Paquito Tito. I go incognito, said Skippito. Do you like rice and beans? Asked Pintolito. See, I love mice and beans, said Skippito. He might be the dog of our dreams, whispered Rosalita. Perhaps, said Tia Mia, if he knows the secret password. Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skippito half sneezed, half spoke the secret password in the Chihuahua's very large ear.
This time you
Chupichu! Bless you, said Don Diego. Gracias, said Skippito. Then it is true, agreed Don Diego. Yip, yippee, yippito, it's the end of Alfredo Bazito. Skippito is here, we have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad Mumblebito. And all the chimichangos went crazy loco. First they had a fiesta, then they took a siesta.
Stupid.
But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great Bumblebito for Skippito to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos so great that one could hear a whisker drop. Alfredo Pasito, whispered the crowd. El Blimpo Bumblebito Bandito. So, see, said Paquito Tito, the bandito steals our frijoles. Not your beans, cried Skippito outraged. See, Paquito continued, red beans, black beans, Boston baked and blue, cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly too. And now he comes for us, Paquito added. ¿Por qué? Asked Skippito. Because we are full of beans too. Then Don Diego stood tall and his most somber voice declared, Yo quiero frijoles. Huh, Skippito? That dude just wants his beans back, said Paquito Tito. And you are the dog for the job. Me? Asked Skippito. That all the chimichangas turned towards Skippito, the great sword fighter. But poor Skippito had no time for a plan because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangas scattered in all directions. Vamos, Skippito! Or de you the bandito will eat-o, they cried. Skippito stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like the castanets. Then in a wee soft voice he said, "My name is Skippito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito." But Alfredo Bazilo flew straight for Skippito until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. "Holy frijoles!" cried Skippito as he thrust his sword in the air. Suddenly, pop went the bandito, landing on Skippito's sword, and quicker than one could say Chihuahua's cheese and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Bazilo, the bumblebee bandito. The bumblebee popped. Then all the doggies burst into song. Yip, yippee, yippito, our hero is El Skippito. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos.
He's a dog of our dreams.
Back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippy John's room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. Panguito, Crashito, Papito, Scapito. Just in time to see Skippy John's closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, beanbag doggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. "Skippy John Jones!" everyone cried. "Hola, muchachitas," he said in a wee soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippy John and covered his head with furry kisses. "What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cuckoo Bug?" she scolded. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippy John began to bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that." "Say goodnight, Skippy John Jones," called his mama. "Buenas noches, mis amigos," said Skippy John Jones.